Hi, everybody. It is the 21st of February. We're cranking right along here. Uh, we had a day off yesterday, which was really kind of nice because a couple of the guys have been a little under the weather and it gave them a chance to just kind of chill and stuff. It gets arduous out here, and if anybody's not feeling well on a bus, boy, it's like a kindergarten class. If there's a bug going on, everybody's going to be susceptible to it. So it turned out good to have this. But when we did the fundraiser the other night, it was really interesting. It was for the preservation of a very old golf course here that I guess developers have been eyeing and all that, but apparently it's like 100 years old, and was the very first, what I was told, very first golf course that was desegregated in Texas way back in the day. And the great golfer Ben Crenshaw was there, and he's involved heavily with this. And so they raised a lot of money. Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting just to see people sitting at a table, kind of throwing out 70, 80,000 bucks for a golfing weekend and stuff like that. It's a world I don't live in and stuff, but it's interesting to behold. But it went great with Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel, and it was great hanging with them. I've known Ray a long time, and he is just a fascinating guy. And Asleep at the Wheel is just a great group of musicians. So they did like a 30-minute set. Then there were two other artists that came on and did solo things, just guitar and vocal. And then we went up with Lyle and we did three songs. And then Sleep at the Wheel came back up and we did Blues for Dixie and That's Right, You're Not From Texas together. And then we split and they did another 30-minute set because they were the headliner booked for this, and it turned out they asked Lyle if he was around, if he could do something. So it was not last minute, but it was one of these things that was nice to be involved in. So I was grateful that we got to do that and spend some good time hanging with some really fun people over there. And I believe we are off to Abilene to play a hall that we played 2 weeks ago, and they sold out that gig immediately 2 weeks ago. And they said, well, we could do another night, which they said, fine. And then they said, but we don't have an opening for 2 weeks. I mean, this tour, if you look at a map of Texas, it's like all over the place. And so we're going back there again. And I think we have one more gig in Texas after that. And then we head out of state. I think we go to Louisiana after that. And we start working our way down through the South to Florida and then head up north, and I believe we end up in Virginia on I think our last show is, I think the 9th of March. And it's been great, though. We've been having a great time on this tour. The music's been really great, and it's just interesting to be out doing a tour with 4 musicians in Lyle rather than 15. But we're doing a bunch of the same songs, so we've readjusted to do a real stripped down version of these things. And I find that that's always intriguing, just to have a challenge to do something different. I feel my heart goes out to the people of Turkey and Syria. They had another earthquake in the same area, 6.8 this time. I mean, God, how much can these people endure? It's just unbelievably terrible. And then it's just hard when you just see this stuff going on in the world, and seeing Jimmy Carter now in hospice, for one of the truly great human beings that this world's ever known. It's drawing to a close, but I think he's 98, so good for him. He lived a life of exemplary, something everybody can learn from. He and Rosalind are a remarkable couple, amazing people. But Tay, I'm gonna do a little music for you. Tay, I'm gonna go back and revisit an album I marked down. I've talked about this artist 3 times now, but he's so instrumental in our industry, that it's always worth another visit to him, and that's Jimmy Webb. And I did numbers, I think 419, 478, and 940 were about Jimmy. But we did back in, oh God, when did we cut this? God, I can't even remember. I'll have to double check the date on this. But it's an album called Angel of, I think it was probably around 2002, maybe somewhere in that period. But the album was called Angel Heart. And Jimmy's like one of the truly great songwriters of our generation. And every chance I've had to work with him, both as an artist or as a writer on a project. And Linda Ronstadt just loves Jimmy's writing, and so she's been instrumental in a lot of the work I've done with Jimmy. Yeah, Linda's been a part of that too. So I'm gonna go grab a couple of tunes here just to share a little bit more with you. See if there's any other info I can grab here on this. Hold on. Here's a song called One of the Few. It has the lyricist down as Jay Cooper on this, but it's Jimmy Webb here. So hold on, let me turn my speaker on and let's see what we got here. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me pull something else up here. Get into Discog. It's like one of these things here. I'm going to try to get some credits. Jimmy Webb, artist. This is what I go through every day on this. Let me find Angel. Here's Angel Heart here. Let me go down and find another version of it that might have credits listed on it. Okay, I think I just said it, One of the Few was the track that I'm going to do for you here. It's myself on bass, Jeff Picaro on drums, Dean Parks on electric guitar, Jimmy Webb on piano, Steve Lukather on lead guitar in the fade, and Dean Parks on lead guitar in the middle, Fred Mullen, who's one of the producers on it, up on percussion, David Paich is playing piano, and the strings were arranged by Matthew McCauley, who's the other producer on it. And the background vocals on this are Michael McDonald and Leah Kunkel. So here we go. Let me pull up One of the Few. Now, where the hell is that hiding now? Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go.
In the light of day, nothing much I can say. I guess we all pass this way. You know about man, his own jailer, selfish and so unkind, trapped in his frightened mind. Lying, he leads the blind. And then there's you. You are one of the few, honest, courageous, and true. For you are always care. Honey, you draw a different line. You always seem to shine. Tears don't become your kind. Most most never learn their names. Surely you see their games. Puppets hung up by chains. Whoa, 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 then there's you. You are one of the few. Honest, courageous, and true. For you I'll always care. Honey, you draw a different line. You always seem to shine. Tears don't become your kind.
He's just a great writer. I mean, it's like, Randy Newman, all these guys. I mean, every time I get to work with a great writer, Paul Williams or Diane Warren. I just heard from Diane Warren. We've been working on an album for quite a while now, a solo album for her. And hopefully we're going to get back and do some more work on that, because she's just an unbelievable force of nature as a writer. She's just cranked out so many great songs. Let's see what we got here. Let me find this rascal here. This one is called Old Wing Mouth, and this is Dean Parks on acoustic guitar, Fred Tackett on acoustic and electric guitars. The background vocals are Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald. It's me on bass and Jeff Piccaro on drums. The electric piano is Jimmy Webb and vocals, and organ is David Page, and also also piano on this. And then the back percussion and some background vocals on this are Matthew McCauley, who co-produced this. We recorded it at Sunset Sound Studios in Hollywood, and it was mixed at Sunset Sound and mixed also at Cherokee Studios, mastered at Custom Matrix and the Mastering Lab. Dennis Drake and Mark Linnett were engineers. Bobby Schaefer also was engineering, mastered by Mike Reese, and it was mixed by Bill Schnee. And it's great. So let me get old Wingmouth in here, see what that's all about. Here we go.
Red mud, thick as blood, curiosity of slaves. Old Wingmouth brings up Jesus, and it talks about how Jesus saves. He's coming back to scare you. He'll be here, have no fear. I'll just hold on to this bottom land till God gets a heel.
Kind of very Crosby-esque, David.
Oh, wing mouth with his white straw hat and a sugar cane. The devil will be loosed upon the earth again. Material possessions are the road to hell. He came to do good and he did well. Dark skin, woman frown. The moonlight's on the waste. He has not seen a woman in 190 days. He's gonna love her forever. Love her with his pain. You might say he's gonna love her till God comes back again. Oh, wingmouth with his white straw hat and his sugar cane. The devil will be loosed upon the earth again. Material possessions are the road to hell. He came to do good and he did the well. Oh, we bought his white straw hat and his sugar cane. The devil will be loosed upon the earth again. Material possessions are the road to hell. He came to do good and he did well. He did well. So well.
Yeah, a beautiful fade. I believe this was all Frankenstein on this one. Hold on 1 sec. I'm going to go back and grab one other song. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful songs, and the renditions, like Linda Ronstadt did this, and it was absolutely stunning. And she co-produced this track with the great George Massenburg, who was also engineering on here. But it's Dean Parks on guitar, Jimmy singing, me on bass, Russ Kunkel on drums, and written by Jimmy Webb. And that's the great song Adios. So here we go. Listen to this, and then I'll let you go.
Ran away from home when I was 17 to be with you on the California coast. Drinking margaritas all night in the old cantina out on the California coast. Don't think that I'm ungrateful. never really made it, baby, but we came pretty close. Adios, adios. Going up north where the hills are wintergreen, I got to leave you on the California coast. Going where the water's clear and the air is cleaner than the California coast. Our dreams of endless summer, they were just too grandiose. Adios, adios. And I'll miss the blood red sunset, but I'll miss you the most. Adios, 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 adios.
It doesn't get better than that. Now that was from a different album, and when I read all the credits, I forgot that this was a piano solo thing on there. The credits I read were for the rest of the album, but that was, forget the title of that album now. Jesus, hold on, let me take a look and oh, I'll get back to that later. I just want to bask in that. What a just beautiful song. And then you think of all the things like Wichita Lineman and MacArthur Park and all these songs. I mean, his body of work is so unbelievable. Just song after song is really something else. So I'm going to get going. We're going to be heading to Abilene and show there where we were 2 weeks ago, and then we are off again. Not off. We're heading off to another gig here in Texas, and I believe that one will be our last gig in Texas. But I think we have 18 shows left on the tour. 18 days left, and I think we have 15 shows. I mean, the schedule's really, it's a tough one, but it's the only way tours can really work is to really get out there and work. You can't go out on the road for a week and do 3 shows a week and pay for everybody to be in, hotel for crew and food and all the stuff that goes on. So for a tour really to be viable, you really need to work. And I'm really happiest when we've got a lot of gigs to do. So it's going to be great. And so take good care. I will talk to you later, and I will have I did a walkthrough of this old hall in Abilene. So I doubt if I will do anything there before the show today. But if I see anything intriguing, I'll go ahead and grab it. But for the moment, I'm just going to wish everybody all the very best, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.